Brix listens to the water's soft flow. Plip, plop, swish, swirl, hush, hush in the reeds. The river hums stories that grow into seeds. Build it slow, build it true, with the ones who came before you. Let the water sing you through. The river remembers, and so do you. With his tail like a brush, he draws loops in the stream, stacking sticks into circles like shapes in a dream. Every branch, every stone, every soft muddy line feels like something he's known for a long, long time. Build it slow, build it true, with the ones who came before you. Let the water sing you through. The river remembers, and so do you. He dreams of the others who paddled this way, their voices in ripples, their light in the spray. He's one drop, one breath, one paw in the clay, and still the stream whispers you're part of the way. Build it slow, build it true, with the ones who came before you. Let the water sing you through. The river remembers. The river remembers, and so do you. Have you ever heard of the sugar plum tree? 'Tis a marvel of great renown. It blooms on the shore of the lollipop sea, in the garden of shut-eye town. The fruit that it bears is so wondrously sweet, as those who have tasted it say, that good little children have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. When you've got to the tree, you would have a hard time to capture the fruit which I sing. The tree is so tall that no person could climb to the boughs where the sugar plums swing. But up in that tree sits a chocolate cat, and a gingerbread dog prowls below. And this is the way you contrive to get at those sugar plums tempting you so. You say but the word to that gingerbread dog, and he barks with such terrible zest that the chocolate cat is at once all agog, as her swelling proportions attest. And the chocolate cat goes cavorting around from this leafy limb unto that, and the sugar plums tumble, of course, to the ground. Hurrah for that chocolate cat. There are marshmallows, gumdrops, and peppermint canes, with stripings of scarlet or gold. And you carry away of the treasure that rains as much as your apron can hold. So come, little child, cuddle closer to me in your dainty white nightcap and gown, and I'll rock you away that sugar plum tree in the garden of Shaddai Town. The Nautilus and the Ammonite were launched in friendly strife, each sent to float in its tiny boat on the wide, wide sea of life. For each could swim on the ocean's brim, and when wearied its sail could furl and sink to sleep in the great sea deep, in its palace all of pearl. And theirs was a bliss more fair than this, which we taste in our colder clime, for they were rife in a tropic life, a brighter and better clime. They swam mid eyes whose summer smiles were dimmed by no alloy, whose groves were palm, whose air was balm, and life one only joy. They sailed all day through creek and bay, and traversed the ocean deep, and at night they sank on a coral bank in its fairy boughs to sleep. And the wonders vast of ages past they beheld in their ocean caves. They saw them ride in their power and pride, and sink in their deep sea caves. And hand in hand from strand to strand they sailed in mirth and glee, these fairy shells with their crystal cells, twin sisters of the sea. And they came at last to a sea long past, but as they reached its shore, the great deep's call whispered them to rest, and the Ammonite journeyed no more. So the Nautilus now in its shelly prow, as over the deep it strays, still seems to seek in bay and creek its companion of other days. And alike do we on life's gentle sea, as we roam from shore to shore, thus ocean tossed seek the loved, the lost, and find them in those waters no more. Yet the hope how sweet again to meet, as we look to a distant strand, where heart meets heart and no more they part, who meet in that better land. In a forest soft and deep, where the moss and shadows sleep, the little Soba climbs her tree, just as quiet as can be. She listens to the swaying air, to scents and stories drifting there, acorns, berries, far off rain, carried in the breeze again, whispers in the wind, calling through the trees, bending every branch, dancing with the leaves. Soba hears it all, gentle and so wise, with river stone eyes and ears to the sky. Branches creak and softly bend, learning how the storms will end. Even trees she's come to know grow stronger when they learn to go the flow. Tiny nose and twitching tail, following the scents that ride the air. Foxes, mushrooms, hidden seeds. She understands what each one means. Whispers in the wind, calling through the trees, bending every branch, dancing with the leaves. Soba hears it all, gentle and so wise, with river stone eyes and ears to the sky. She doesn't speak too loud or fast. She lets the quiet moments last. For in the stillness truths begin. She listens and the wind sings in. Whispers in the wind, secrets floating free. A lullaby for forest, flower, root and tree. Soba hears it all, curled up in her nest. The wind tucks her in, the forest rests.
Wynken, Blynken, and Nod one night sailed off in a wooden shoe. Sailed on a river of crystal light into a sea of dew. Where are you going and what do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We have come to fish for the herring fish that live in this beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold have we. Said Wynken, Blynken, Nod. The old moon laughed and sang a song as they rocked in the wooden shoe. And the wind that sped them all night long ruffled the waves of dew. The little stars were the herring fish that lived in that beautiful sea. Now cast your nets wherever you wish, never afraid are we. So cried the stars to the fishermen three. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod, all night long their nets they threw to the stars in the twinkling foam. Then down from the skies came the wooden shoe, bringing the fishermen home. Was all so pretty a sail it seemed as if it could not be. And some folks thought 'twas a dream they dreamed of sailing that beautiful sea. But I shall name you the fishermen three, Wynken, Blynken, and Nod. Wynken and Blynken are two little eyes, and Nod is a little head. And the wooden shoe that sailed the skies is a wee one's trundle bed. So shut your eyes while mother sings of wonderful sights that be, and you shall see the beautiful things as you rock in the misty sea, where the old shoe rocked the fishermen three. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod.
desert's velvet air mirrors sails from here to there. Petals open, moonlight spills, silver rivers cross the hills. Little bad, little friend, night begins, night will end. Carry pollen, take your rest, dream inside the cactus nest. Sawato's crown so high, so wide, holds a cup of gold inside. Brush-tip tongue in nectar deep, while the desert drifts to sleep. Little bad, little friend, night begins, night will end. Carry pollen, take your rest, dream inside the cactus nest. Stars above and earth below, every bloom you touch will grow. Wings like petals fold away, wait to greet the next night's day. Little bad, little friend, night begins, night will end. Carry pollen, take your rest, dream inside the cactus nest. When the golden day is done, through the closing portal, child and garden, flower and sun, vanish all things mortal. As the building shadows fall, as the rays diminish, under evening's cloak they all roll away and vanish. Garden dark and daisy shut, child in bed they slumber. Glowworm in the hallway rut, might among the lumber. In the darkness houses shine, parents move the candles, till on all the night divine turns the bedroom handles. Till at last the day begins, in the east a breaking, in the hedges and the winds, sleeping birds awaking. In the darkness shapes of things, houses, trees and hedges, clearer grow and sparrows' wings beat on window ledges. These shall wake the yawning maid, she the door shall open, finding dew on garden glade and the morning broken. There my garden grows again, green and rosy painted, as at eve behind the pane from my eyes it fainted. Just as it was shut away, toy-like in the even, here I see it glow with day under glowing heaven. Every path and every plot, every blush of roses, every blue a very pleasant day. We do not want to go away. So for just one more merry day, to the great tree the leaflets clung, frolicked and danced and had their way upon the autumn breezes swung, whispering all their sports among. Perhaps the great tree will forget and let us stay until the spring, if we all beg and coax and fret. But the great tree did no such thing. He smiled to hear their whispering. Come, children, all to bed, he cried, and ere the leaves could urge their prayer, he shook his head, and far and wide, fluttering and rustling everywhere, down sped the leaflets through the air. I saw them on the ground, they lay, golden and red, a huddled swarm, waiting till one from far away, white bedclothes heaped upon her arm, should come to wrap them safe and warm. The great bare tree looked down and smiled. Good night, dear little leaves, he said, and from below each sleepy child replied, good night, and murmured, it is so nice to go to bed. In the hush of morning light, Ember walked where ferns grow bright. The stream beside her sang so low, with stories only rivers know. Whisper water, whisper true, tell me what you've wandered through. Glowing specks and drifting leaves, the stream remembers what it sees. She listened close with quiet pause to ripples shaped by time and loss. A feather floated past a root, a shimmer caught on something mute. Bits of shimmer soft and small, not from nature's hand at all. Ember touched them one by one and gently cleaned what had been done. Whisper water, whisper true, tell me what I still can do. If I listen, I can hear the stream is calling kind and clear. Then forest friends came near and wide to help the river's song abide. Each paw and wing and beak and claw moved with care and quiet awe. Whisper water, whisper through, the forest watches over you. The stream remembers calm and deep, it sings the woods and stars to sleep. wings like the moon in the desert sky, soft as a whisper, swift as a sigh. Primrose opens wide and wide, welcomes you to the nectar inside. Hover, little Hawkmoth, hover and rest. Taste the sweetness the blooms suggest. Thread the treasure to the next you find, binding the blossoms in midnight's wind. Dot your sways in the cooling air, waiting for you to find it there. Petals turn to the soundless beat of wings that hum where earth and sky meet. Every petal you leave behind holds the echo of your kind. Hover, little Hawkmoth, hover and rest. Taste the sweetness the blooms suggest. Thread the treasure to the next you find, binding the blossoms in midnight's wind.
Come, my little one, with me. There are wondrous sights to see as the evening shadows fall in your pretty cap and gown. Don't detain the shut-eye train. Ting-a-ling, the bell it goeth. Toot-toot, the whistle bloweth. And we hear the warning call, all aboard for Shut-eye Town. Over hill and over plain, soon will speed the shut-eye train. Through the blue where bloom the stars and the mother moon looks down, we'll away to land of fate. Oh, the sights that we shall see there. Come, my little one, with me there. 'Tis a goodly train of cars, all aboard for Shut-eye Town. Swifter than a wild bird's flight, through the realms of fleecy light, we shall speed and speed away. Let the night in envy frown, what care we how wroth she be? To the Ballow land above us, to the Ballow folk who love us, let us hasten while we may. All aboard for Shut-eye Town. Shut-eye Town is passing fair, golden dreams await us there. We shall dream those dreams, my dear, till the mother moon goes down. See unfold delights untold, and in those mysterious places we shall see beloved faces and beloved voices here in the grace of Shut-eye Town. Heavy are your eyes, my sweet, weary are your little feet. Nestle closer up to me in your pretty cap and gown. Don't detain the shut-eye train. Ting-a-ling, the bell it goeth. Toot-toot, the whistle bloweth. Oh, the sights that we shall see, All aboard for Shut-Eye Town.
Where the shadows meet, Moonrat wanders on careful feet, finding the fruits the night has grown, carrying a forest she's never known. Petals fall where the moonrat goes, seeds take root where the soft wind blows, step by step through the forest deep, planting dreams while the tall trees sleep. Fur brushed wet with the evening dew, past remembered old and true. Every bite hides a seed inside, left in the earth for the rains to find. Petals fall where the moonrat goes, seeds take root where the soft wind blows, step by step through the forest deep, planting dreams while the tall trees sleep.
When the sky turns velvet blue and stars begin to shine, a tiny moth wakes in the trees to follow a glowing sign. She's a whisper in the night, drifting low through silver air, touching flowers with silent grace, leaving golden dust with care. Moonflowers curl like silent bells, primrose hums her name, jasmine sighs beneath the stars and calls her just the same. She's a whisper in the night, drifting low through silver air, touching flowers with silent grace, leaving golden dust with care. No one sees her glowing trail, but it echoes through the air. What bloomed before will bloom again, because Pip the moth was there. A bat waves from the willow tree, the garden holds its breath. Together they move through the dark with gentleness and depth. She's a whisper in the night, drifting low through silver air, touching flowers with silent grace, leaving golden dust with care. So when you sleep and close your eyes, remember some flowers unfold in the moonlight. Pip still flutters to and fro, guiding petals through the night. Let's come away to the land of fae. Let the Katydidis sing. Oh, slumber, little dear, my soul, and hand in hand we will wander, hand in hand to the beautiful land of Bellow, way of yore. Oh, we'll sail along in a lily leaf into the white moon's halo, over a stream of mist and dream into the land of Bellow. Or you shall have two beautiful wings, two gossamer wings and airy, and all the while shall the old moon smile and think you a little fairy. And you shall dance in the velvet sky, and the silvery stars shall twinkle, and dream sweet dreams as over their beams your footfalls softly tinkle. Firefly luma, lantern bright, drifting low in meadow light, carry gold from bloom to bloom, sing the flowers into June. Glow in the garden, soft and slow, where the night cruise lanterns grow. Glow, little luma, in the dew, the flowers are dreaming along with you. Primrose calls you, milkweed sways, moonlight shows the pollen ways. Sip the nectar, gift the sea, tend the meadow's quiet need. Glow in the garden, soft and slow, where the night cruise lanterns grow. Glow, little luma, in the dew, the flowers are dreaming along with you. Once you floated high and far, up to meet the evening star. Now you weave the blooms below, trading seeds for light you show. Glow in the garden, soft and slow, where the night cruise lanterns grow. Glow, little luma, in the dew, the flowers are dreaming along with you.
The lights from the parlor, air and kitchen shone out through the blinds and the windows and bars, and high overhead and all moving about, there were thousands of millions of stars. There ne'er were such thousands of leaves on a tree, nor of people in church or the park, as the crowds of the stars that looked down upon me, and that glittered and winked in the dark. The dog and the plow and the hunter and all, and the star of the sailor and Mars, these shone in the sky, and the pail by the wall would be half full of water and stars. They saw me at last, and they chased me with cries, and they soon had me packed into bed. But the glory kept shining and bright in my eyes, and the stars going round in my head.
I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not at all like proper children, which is always very slow, for he sometimes shoots up taller like a rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me, he's a coward, you can see. I think shame to stick to Nursey as that shadow sticks to me. One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepyhead, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed.
High where the orchids open slow, beetles climb where moonbeams go. Petals thick and scented sweet guide their careful hidden feet. Lanterns in the canopy, moving slow from tree to tree, carry the treasure the old way still, through the vines and over the hill. lanterns in the canopy, moving slow from tree to tree. Carry the treasure the old way still, through the vines and over the hill. A circle of gold, o'er the crowded housetops rolled, and peeped in attic where, mid sordid things and bare, a child lay and gazed at a road to the far away, a road he followed mazed, that grew from a moonbeam ray, a road of light that led from the foot of his garret bed, out of that room, into a wonderland, where a voice called far and sweet, "Come follow our fairy band." A purple shadow sprinkled with golden stardust twinkled suddenly into the room, out of the winter gloom, and it wore a face to him of a dream he'd dreamed a form of joy whose face was dim, yet bright with a magic charm, and the shadows seemed to trail sounds that were green and frail. Dew dribbles, notes that fell like drops in a ferny dell, a whispered lisp and stir, like winds among the leaves, blend with a cricket chirr and coo of a dove that grieves, and the elfin bore on its back a little fairy pack of forest scents of loam and mossy sounds of foam, and of its contents breathed as might a clod of ground, feeling a bud unsheathed there in its womb profound. And the shadow smiled and gazed at the child, then softly raised its arms and seemed to grow to a tree in the attic low, and from its glimmering hands shook emerald seeds of dreams, from which grew fairy bands like firefly motes and gleams. The child had seen them before in his dreams of fairy lore, the elves each with a light to guide his feet aright, out of this world to a world where magic built him towers, and fable old unfurled flags like wonderful flowers. And the child who knew this smiled and rose a different child. No more he knew of pain or fear of heart and brain. At poverty there that slept he never even glanced, but into the moon road stepped, and out of the garret danced, out of the earthly gloom, out of the sordid room, out on a moonbeam ray. Now at last to play The sun descending in the west, the evening star does shine. The birds are silent in their nest, and I must seek for mine. The moon like a flower in heaven's high bower, with silent delight sits and smiles on the night. Farewell green fields and happy grove, where flocks have took delight, where lambs have nibbled silent move the feet of angels bright. Unseen they pour blessing and joy without ceasing on each bud and blossom and each sleeping bosom. They look in every thoughtless nest where birds are covered warm. They visit caves of every beast to keep them all from harm. If they see any weeping that should have been sleeping, they pour sleep on their head and sit down by their bed. When wolves and tigers howl for prey, they pitying stand and weep, seeking to drive their thirst away and keep them from the sheep. But if they rush dreadful, the angels most heedful receive each mild spirit new worlds to inherit. And there the lion's ruddy eyes shall flow with tears of gold, and pitying the tender cries and walking round the fold, saying wrath by his meekness and by his health sickness are driven away from our immortal day. For washed in life's river, my bright mane forever shall shine like the gold as I guard o'er the fold.
wheat field where the grasses grow, Luma woke with a tiny glow. She felt a wish rise in the night to float up gently and share her light. Shine, little Luma, shine so high, like a flicker in the moonlit sky, softly glowing, not too bright. She danced with stars in the velvet night. Through the hush of the summer breeze, past the hush of sleeping trees, she met her kin in the open air, all blinking softly here and there. Keep the meadows wild and deep, let the forest shadows sleep. Turn off lights when night is near, so fireflies can find each other clear. Shine, little Luma, shine so high, like a flicker in the moonlit sky, softly glowing, warm and slow, a tiny light with a gentle glow. She floated home on wings of night, carrying dreams and glowing light. The meadow waited cool and still, wrapped in moonlight soft and real. So when you see a firefly's gleam, think of Luma and her dream. Let the darkness softly fall and share your light. No glows too small.